Hi, welcome to Back to School with the Bees. I'm Megan Swanson, the Programs Manager at the Kwl Project, and I'm joined by Emilee Elingburg, the Educator at the Kwl Project. So today we are so excited to dive into the Back to School with the Bees resources, activities, and lesson plans. These are new resources, and they're a great way to kick off a new semester, to build momentum in the middle of the school year, all sorts of fun. All of these lesson plans, activities, and resources are mapped to the standards. They are distance learning friendly, and they are ready for you to use in your classroom, whether that is online or in a community, whatever learning environment you're working with right now, we've built these for you. So, a little word and thanks to our sponsor, the Whole Kids Foundation. They've made Back to the School with the Bees possible this year. And the Whole Kids Foundation does a lot with the Kwl Project. We provide several grant programs, and if you would like to find out more about those programs, you can visit our website at thebcause.org/VBgrant. And just a note, for the remainder of this presentation, we will include links all along the way for this presentation, and we'll make sure that you know where to go if you have any questions at all. So, for the Back to School with the Bees resource, all of these resources, they're included under the Back to School with the Bees umbrella. We're today going to introduce the 6-week Bee Unit, the Literature Circle Teacher's Guide and Reading Rules, the Pollinator Powered Reading List, which is my personal favorite, so I hope you like it as well, and then the Monthly Buzz Classroom Calendar and associated journal prompts. At the end of this presentation and video, we'll review where to find ongoing educational opportunities for you guys, the educators, and where to go if you have any questions. So, first I'll show you where to find these resources on our website. If you go to our home page, you can click Explore the 6-week Bee Unit, and that again is on the home page. This will break down a lot of the Back to School with the Bees items, resources, lessons in a 6-week unit format. However, they're broken down into bite-sized pieces. You can use them at your leisure, however they fit into your classroom. If you go to the top navigation, you can click on Resources to access our resource library. Then click Lesson Plans from the drop-down, and you'll find all of our lesson plans here, in addition to the Back to School offerings. For example, if you click on the Kwl curriculum, you'll access the 6-week Bee Unit in a completely downloadable PDF. This includes everything. So once you click download, there you go. It's all at your fingertips. You can print it out. Emilee will talk about how you can create a binder with it. It's all there for you to access. So let's dive right in. Like I mentioned earlier, Emilee is our educator. She is going to be talking teacher to teacher about how you can implement these lessons and resources right now in your classroom.
Thanks, Megan. Before my time with the Kwl Project, I was a public Montessori school teacher for 18 years, and now I'm really excited to be able to teach you about these lessons that, like Megan said, you can jump right in and take over in your classroom, whether you're digital or whether you're live and in person. I want to walk you through the 6-week Bee Unit, give you suggestions on what you can do with it, just to get the most out of this product. The first thing I think you need to do is go, like Megan said, and print out the PDF and get a binder and get organized with all the things that you'll need. This is the Getting to Know the Basics of Bees. I personally would teach the 6 weeks in order, but I think you can pull it out and use what parts you need for your students in your class. Each week is a different focus, so you'll get to stretch that out over more weeks if you needed to. It is Common Core ELA standards and Next Generation Science standards mapped for 3rd through 5th grade. In this educator guide, I'm going to explain to you how to get started, where to find the things that you need, and you also have no live bees required. We've given you lots of opportunities to go to live hives to see what's happening with the bees without having to have them on your campus. This is our pre and post assessment. It's going to give you a lot of feedback about where your students are starting and what they end up knowing at the end, it's going to give you a lot more traction for doing more pollinator lessons in your classroom and in the outdoors. We've also included a KWL chart. I would use this at the beginning and the end so that you can get that growth of knowledge documented with your students. You could keep this small, or you could blow it up and make a big one for your class to put all their ideas down together. This could also be used to continue with another writing lesson where you're asking them to start with where they begin and what they wondered, and then what lessons they learned the most from. So it could continue on in a lot of different ways. And that takes us to week 1 inside the hive. Each one of our units provides you with a resource that has writing, facts, drawings, illustrations, everything that you need to know to be able to teach the lesson. And then each lesson has within it a list of materials with links for purchasing, video links, including the live hive feeds that I mentioned, easy to follow steps, assessment and reflection suggestions, and then at the end, a bee journal prompt to get your kids writing about what they've learned and talking about what they've learned. And then another resource within this is the bee glossary and flashcards. This is one of my favorite parts, and I've given you the instructions on how I would use the flashcards in the Educator guide. The glossary is going to give you all the definitions that you would need to teach the lesson, but the flashcards you can actually color copy, laminate, and then cut them might go with the definition. So they're really showing a growth of knowledge, not only in what the bees are doing, but all these new terms and tech. So I think it's a really great resource. The next one is my personal favorite, the Literature Teacher's Guide. Literature Circle was one of my favorite things to teach when I was in the classroom. And I've written a guide that's going to explain to you what this is and how to use it to get like a one-stop shop on starting your guided reading groups. It's going to have printable roles for your students that you can send with them, read maybe a chapter book or a picture book, so that when you come back to discuss the book, you have a lot more talking points for your students. Artful Artist is everyone's favorite, so be prepared for some really great pictures to be discussed. And I would print this from the PDF and I would add it right to that binder. This is the Pollinator powered reading list. So this is going to help you with that literature circle. We've given you some of our favorite titles. We've also added the grade level when we could find that, reading level for Lexile and guided reading, and the genre. Also a link to if there is a read aloud available. And one of my favorites in here is The King of Bees. The read aloud is by the author Lester Lemonak. And one of my other favorite books is The Thing About It's a Love Letter, which you could encourage your students to write a letter to the bees. What would they say to those bees? And then finally, our monthly buzz calendar and journal prompts. So this is going to give your students throughout the year a chance to find out what's happening with the bees as the season changes and as the temperature changes. One of our favorite journal prompts from below is for October about telling the bees, which is a long-standing tradition for beekeepers to tell their bees good news, life things that are happening, birthdays. It just makes you wonder what your students will probably say to the bees if they got the chance to talk to the bees. So just to kind of review all that, we went through the 6-week bee unit and where you can find all of these resources, the Literature Circle Teacher's Guide and Reading Roles, the Pollinator Powered Reading List, and the monthly buzz calendar and journal prompts.
Alrighty, so thank you so much, Emily. So that you guys don't miss the monthly buzz and a lot of lesson plans such as this, make sure to sign up for our upcoming webinars and educational opportunities. You'll be able to check the BCause Facebook page at the BCause, and all of our events upcoming or any type of webinar sign up, that's where you're going to want to look for those items. Also, a great place to check in on a monthly basis is the Buzzworthy newsletter, of course. You can sign up for this newsletter at thebcause.org/buzz-newsletter. And this is something that we only send out once a month, and we really want to keep it the perfect amount so that you receive those lessons straight to your inbox and you can put them to use in your classroom right away. It also includes any up-to-date news on pollinators and the bees and other items such as what the buzz is that month, what the bees are doing. So if you want to sign up for either of those, that's where you can find it. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to info@thebeecause.org. Whether you have live bees on campus or you're in the middle of a bee program yourself, or you want to start pollinator-powered curriculum at your school or community group, this is your one-stop shop. Use these resources. They're free to download, and we're really excited to see where your bee program takes you.